Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the biggest questions of our time. Why are developing countries still trapped in cycles of crisis? And what does that mean for the rest of the world? From Africa to South Asia, from Latin America to the Pacific, developing nations face an invisible war. A war against poverty, political instability, security threats and economic dependence. But here's the kicker, this isn't just their problem. It's all of ours. Let's start with a simple truth. Developing countries, which make up over 60% of the global population, are the front line of today's political, economic and security battles. In 2025, the gap between rich and poor countries isn't just growing, it's driving new global tensions. In countries like Sudan, Haiti, Myanmar and parts of the Sahel, political systems have become so fragile that entire governments fall within weeks. Military coups, weak democratic institutions, corruption and foreign meddling all fuel these collapses. When governments fail, people don't just lose leaders, they lose basic human rights, safety, freedom, education and healthcare. And here's the twist. Global superpowers like the United States, China, Russia, the European Union and India all have stakes in how these nations rise or fall. Sometimes they offer aid, sometimes military support, and sometimes they play political chess with entire populations as pawns. While Silicon Valley celebrates billion-dollar innovations, millions in developing countries wake up unsure if they'll eat. 2025 has seen inflation skyrocket in countries like Argentina, Egypt, Nigeria and Pakistan. Debt repayments eat up national budgets while essential services crumble. And international aid, often tied to contracts, loans and conditions that lock these nations into dependency, not freedom. Political chaos and economic desperation create a perfect storm for security threats. From organized crime in Central America to extremist groups in the Middle East and Africa, security crises force millions to flee their homes, fueling the global refugee crisis. And as conflicts spread, they cross borders, dragging neighboring nations into war and destabilizing entire regions. Today's crises aren't just local. China's Belt and Road Initiative is redrawing trade routes across Asia and Africa. The US continues military partnerships and soft power diplomacy. Russia sharpens its influence in Central Asia and Africa. The EU pushes trade and human rights policies in Latin America. India navigates partnerships with Africa and Southeast Asia. Each power wants influence. Each power has its interests. But the question is, at what cost to the developing world? Now more than ever, the global community faces a choice. Will the next decade be shaped by mutual growth, fair trade, debt relief and sustainable development? Or will developing nations continue to be trapped in a cycle of foreign debt, political puppetry and resource exploitation? The solution begins with shifting focus from aid to empowerment, from charity to justice, and from short-term deals to long-term partnerships. Because when developing nations are stable, educated and secure, the whole world benefits. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you next time.